Here's our friend, the purple dead nettles. Oh, by the way, March 21st, 2020. Time to get another season of gardening in. Now, I dumped a lot of hay here last year, so as you can see, nice and soft. Okay, before I hit dirt, I can go down pretty far. That's the goal. All over the garden, so. This year, one of the challenges is making my own hay. We're gonna weed all this out. This is a fraction of what I had to do last year, so this is easy. Plus I'm gonna have a lot of time this year. I'm really excited about what's going on this year. It's putting me to the test. Wish I had more time, but see this grass, this has to go. But these nettles, these are edible. Good nutrition for times ahead in times of famine. Yeah, I got some old dandelions coming right here. And they'll pop up. So this is the corn, beans, and squash section of my garden. It's going to be the same thing as last year, slightly different. Clean everything up this year. This is my first day really taking time to walk through, where, you know, I've been out here looking and got a few changes coming to this garden. Now I want to show people what can be done to a garden, to a space, with the amount of time that we're going to have on our hands. Doing nothing is not advisable. So I want to show you my garden, what I've got planned here. For those people who remember, for those people who don't remember, right, I had corn, beans, and squash up here in this rectangle. I have this odd shaped thing here. I'm going to change it. Right, got this fence line. I found some slate, just making walkway along the edge of this so I can travel easily. I like to go barefoot, but this thing right here, this is an oregano bush. Well, I call it a bush. Started as one plant, turned into just this massive mound, and I'm going to try and move it. That's what I want to do. See how this property is on a slope, and I built these terraces. Yeah, so I want to take this. This is just a 2x10 or something like that. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to move them up to the fence post. The land is at a slope, so I want to start the terrace at the fence post because there's a concrete thing here. So if I just start the level there, it makes it easy. Makes it very easy on me. Yeah, so I'm moving this one. This one is done. Not completely done because it's not permanent, but this is the shape of it. This is going to look like, see, I got the walkway going up there. This is an asparagus patch. I've got this wall here. So where you don't see the concrete, this is all temporary. But I'm going to be building the wall right here and just bring it across. And it would cut right through my oregano. I want to bring it all the way out here, giving more space to this terrace, which is strawberries. I'm going to let them grow wild and take over the whole terrace, the entire one. And I'm going to plant beans, radishes, onions, carrots, stuff like that. I'm not 100% decided. Then over here, I was gonna have 1 level, 2 level. Doesn't really work out that well. So I'm just gonna raise this level up, bring it over here, and run it along the tree down there. That's my goal. So I'll have a lower level, more of a pathway, maybe some herbs or something up here. Give me some more real estate to plant here, and this gets more sun than this does. But this will get planted here. Here's another level. I'll probably leave this as temporary. strawberries under the dogwood. Dogwood berries are edible. They taste bad, but they're edible. You turn them into a jam. These are my 1,000 head kale. And you can see they're green. If they're healthy, they overwintered. So if I fix how this one is standing, and fix how this one is standing, it's the ones that were up against the fence are the ones that live. So look, see, I got some 1,000 head kale just growing right here. So I can do whatever I want with this bed. And just have some kale growing. It's ready for me. Something that I do kind of by accident / on purpose. Yeah, this is my garden. This is what I'm doing for this year. I'll make some changes. And hopefully, my number one issue last year was my dog getting in. So I have to fix this. And that was my main inspiration for digging up all this stuff, moving everything, because I drew a line right here. That's the bricks, that's where it ended before. But this line right here, right on this big rock, this line right here is where I'm gonna create a terrace. So everything that I'm standing on, which is nothing but compost, so it's gonna be moved. I don't know where. So I've got a few projects in here, and then by doing this wall, because I decided that I have to move this, I'm gonna make it easy on myself and move this post so that I can really get to pick and choose where because my dog just runs in right here and she knocks everything over. Literally, like, destroyed like a few months worth of food. 1 or 2 months worth of food for a human being. So anyways, that's my update. March 21st. It's a beautiful day. This is my garden vlog amidst the, call it year, some conspiracy theorists call this year 0. So vlog, grand solar minimum, garden vlog year 0. Signing out. Alright, I decided to make a hugelkultur mound right here real quick just to show you down and dirty how I did it. This took me, including video recording the first video, it took me a little bit more than an hour. Now what I did first, Seth holds and builds mounds. I'm building terraces, so this is a hugel terrace. I just moved a few rocks around, moved this board, put it up against the tree, created a nice little terrace. Then I went from my compost piles, I got a stick pile here, compost pile here. I went along and I went and grabbed a whole bunch of sticks that are pretty much rotted anyways. I layered them with sticks. Now this one I did differently because I put the big sticks on top, little sticks on the bottom. Because I found the little big sticks after I found the little sticks. So typically big sticks, then smaller sticks, then stuff like leaves. I like using these corn husks. They're perfect because they're leaves and sticks. They're going to decompose real quickly. Then I just layer the compost on top of it. And so this took me an hour. Yeah, I got a half an hour, maybe an hour left. Show you what can be done with a hugelkultur mound, and this will be nice and level. This is my progress so far this year. It's an hour a day. And this is a good example of how hugelkultur mound, or in this case, terrace or ditch, is layered. You can see going from the top, we've got soil, we've got some leaves and some hay, some larger sticks, and then these. I walked around and collected some rotted, dead, fallen wood, and as you can see, it creates a lattice, and there's air spaces here, and that's good for the roots. It's good for the soil. As it breaks down, the soil will lower, and then I'll keep adding compost every year. On top of that, these came from my oregano. I didn't want to go too thick because I didn't have too much room, too much height to work with. I would have got more of this stuff, more sticks. Then I would have gone to this. Then I got some hay, some straw and leaf mix. Then I'm gonna bring some soil in here, and that's what hugelkultur is. And the soil will be decent because I pulled compost from up there. Soil will be decent, but over the years it'll continue to get better and better and better. And so after this, I'm gonna do some other stuff. We've got grand solar minimum, coronavirus, bank runs, martial law. I'm planting food today. I'm germinating some spinach. I'm gonna get started with that. That way I can at least eat lettuce instead of risking going to the soup lines amidst a coronavirus or one of its mutations. And here we are. As you can see, the changes that I made with this bed right here. Still needs a little more soil, needs to be cleaned up. I did a lot of work on the wall. The kale from last year is still growing. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with this field or this field. Finished this wall a little bit. I just threw a big old piece of wood there to hold the soil up for now. I don't know what I'm gonna do down here this year. Sorry, I'm stepping on rocks, kicking rakes. This is all weeded. I might get rid of some of the Queen Anne's lace. I got strawberries. I decided to keep one bunch of dandelions. And I'm gonna be growing peas, beans, and watermelons here. I started poking the holes, and I realized I didn't start germinating the seeds, because the way I do it this way to reduce all the air, again, I've done this every year, is I take the seeds, I put them in a cup, and I germinate them. It takes about a day or two. Once they start popping, if they popped, then I put them in a hole, and then I get like 90 some odd % of them popping up from the ground instead of just throwing seeds, throwing pennies in a wishing well, which is actually what I did here. I started planting radishes. I just poke a hole. That's what this stick denotes. I just poke a hole and I throw 2 or 3 radishes in each hole. And as they pop up, I eat 1 or 2 of the sprouts. Whatever's extra. So you only want 1 radish. But I mean, I moved this wall back. As you can see, I made some changes here. Still have a little bit more work to do. This upper field got smaller over there, but larger over here. I filled in the sinkhole. I fixed the fence, as you can see. My dog kept getting in, so I moved everything. That's why I'm standing on sand right now and not dirt. And my cornfield is a mess. But just to be careful, I'm gonna wait like 2 weeks before I start planting that one. I planted too early last year. But believe it or not, this is nothing compared to last year. And so the planting has begun. I'm germinating sunflowers, the beans, the watermelons. That'll go there. I haven't decided what to do here. I'm doing some really cool stuff with potatoes, sweet potatoes this year, plus some tomato buckets that hang from the trees. So I had a lot of ways to make food. I have a feeling that this year is going to be my best year of growing, and if I can do really well, then I'll be able to sell food. And all the inflation from all this stuff that's happening and all the money that's being printed out, it's not going, the dollar's getting stronger. Bitcoin, silver, gold getting weaker. All the inflation is being hid in food. Real estate prices, they haven't crashed yet. Cars, they haven't crashed yet. Student loan hasn't popped yet. all the bubbles that are gonna pop and all the dominoes that are gonna fall, it's all going into food right now. You will not be able to afford food 3 months from now. I'm telling you right now, you will not be able to get it. And that's why those 5 years that I've done preparing, it really didn't seem like much. You know, I had some people, you know, laugh at the stuff like, yo, you got to do it this way. You got to, don't listen to them. Don't listen to the doubters, because what are the doubters doing? Sitting on their ass. They're doing nothing. Imagine making more money off this garden this year alone than most people make in a year at all. I'm talking $100,000 off a garden. Because I'm going to be selling a pound of tomatoes instead of $2.99. It's going to be $20 for a pound of tomatoes. That's what and that's going to be undercutting the conventional Monsanto factory farmed tomatoes that you would buy in Stop and Shop. I will be able to undercut them. I'll provide them heirloom, non-GMO, organic. I don't spray my plants with anything. The only thing I spray them with is the chemtrails that come from them people, the moon people. That's another topic though. Well, I guess we can call this episode 2, season 20 or season 0. We'll see how everything plays out. As you can hear, the neighborhood they are socializing, they are partying. There's gonna be a rude awakening when that second wave hits. My concern right now is food and food prices, because everybody feels it now. Everybody sees it, and it's only just beginning. Well, look, all those little things that I did year after year in this garden, it's finally paying off, because now I can go full steam ahead and I can see the benefits of my work, and so can you. I mean, this bed looks nice. Here's what it looked like a few years ago and just last year. So as you can see, I've made a lot of changes here. And these are all strawberries, one dandelion. I've got some fruit trees, I think they're blueberries. Got some peas that are gonna grow up that green thing. Got some clover growing, I've got lettuce growing, onions growing, everything. Everything's nice. Here's a pot that I grew over the winter. It's not doing so good, but now that it's outdoors, all that would change. I bet you're wondering what these are. Well, these are potato towers. This one wasn't done so well. I can't get the stake all the way in. But this is a great example. You see, potatoes require hilling or mounding. Not require, but you get a much better harvest. So instead of hilling and mounding and this, that, and the third, when they get a little bit longer, I'm going to begin to put hay and compost and leaves and soil in this tube, this wire tube, this tower, and it's going to grow up, and the potatoes are going to, the end of the year, I'm just going to knock this thing over and have hundreds of potatoes. And all around, I planted peas. I just put some peas in the ground, so the peas will climb the trellis in the meantime. I got a lot going on. Just recently, I planted, you know, a variety of these cold weather crops right here. Some radish, arugula, beets, and spinach. And I just put them right here underneath the shelf, underneath the ledge. See, there's the hose. Still gotta go over, run the sprinklers tonight. That's pretty much how I planted. I use that to poke holes in the ground. And yeah, all the runners that come out of this thing, I'm just gonna leave in the ground all around here because I want this field right here to be strawberries. This field right here is gonna be like root vegetables. I need to break up the soil, so I'm gonna plant tons of beets, radishes, carrots, so on and so forth. Anything that grows in the ground that'll break the soil up, and I'll leave it there to rot. That way all the soil will become soft. That's my strategy for this, because this is just, it's rock hard. This stuff. It's rock hard. And I've got a little setup right here. I'm trying a whole bunch of things this year. This middle plant's a habanero pepper. This is the showcase right here. Then I got 2 sunflowers growing right here. They're gonna grow up. They're gonna support the peas that are growing right here, and they're gonna wind around, which is gonna be like a trellis type deal, or a support. You know, those tomato supports. It's gonna be a tomato support for this thing, and keep this thing growing up, 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 up. So we'll see how it works. Hopefully things are not too crowded. Same thing with this right here. It's a little, they're looking a little unhealthy, but I'm gonna water them. Now these are another experiment. These are potato buckets. This is a sweet potato. This one's struggling. I'll show you this one. There's a sweet potato. Okay, I've got beets or carrots growing in here. You see, this a tomato, a pea, and I'm gonna hang these from the tree. And the tomatoes are gonna go over and down, and the peas are gonna go over and down. And I threw some basil in here as well. And the basil and the carrots are gonna provide cover so the soil doesn't burn out, and everything's gonna grow over. And the sweet potato is gonna take over the rest of it. And when everything's all said and done, I'm just gonna dump the bucket out on the ground and harvest my sweet potato and my beets. And you know what? That's pretty much it for this year. As of right now, I've got lots of plans, but I've got lots of work and I got lots of things going on. Hey, the more food I get out of this, the happier I will be. You know, I want to finish this part of the wall because I can't really, I got to cut out this big root right here to build the wall up to the fence, and then level that out and turn that into my asparagus patch. Look at them go. I'm doing big things this year. You know, I fixed this. Planted some peas right here around that onion. Same thing right here. There's a garlic in the middle, and there's gonna be peas growing around this structure. Still got some planted stuff. I got a whole bunch of stuff already in the works. Got a new sprinkler. I don't know what these are, but they started blooming near my compost pile. And they're nice. They got some pink to them. There were just a second ago these little gnats flying around. I don't see any bees in my garden. There's a person maybe 200 yards down the street that's got bees, and they just never make it over here. So I'm trying to let the flowers, maybe they haven't started, maybe the bees haven't started venturing out, but look, it's the grand solar minimum, and we got all this stuff going on. I've been preaching the story for a long time. This is the start of something nice. Look at this. I'm proud of this year. My next focus is this bed right here, where I'll be doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'll be doing some rows. I'll be doing 3 rows of stuff. Bang, coming down here. This will naturally be my walking path. I'll have some stuff over here. I'm not sure about over here because I got some decorative flowers growing in here. That's gonna be my traditional cornfield over there. And this is open for, you know, I didn't plan on having all this open, but I'm gonna try and perfect this, because this field's gonna be my #1 producer. I still have some, and this is why I planted potatoes in the ground and left them. 'Cause look, now I just need to drop one of those cages above this, and I'm good to go. There's some right there too, so I can put 2 cages down, growing some sweet potatoes. I'll do a sweet potato tower right here. I'll have 6 and room for 7 towers, and that's a lot of food. It's a lot of food. I don't know if you've seen one of them tipped over at the end of the year, but wow. So anyways, I'm out. Welcome back. Season 20. Episode 3. The title is Year 0, A Tale of Two Fields. Here we have field 1. Here we have parking lot #1. Anyways, all the work that I've been doing over these past years has allowed me to finally put a little bit of money into this. I bought some peat moss and some hay. And I covered a layer of peat moss, I covered a layer of hay. And this will be the last time I touch everything in this field. The trees should provide enough leaves to cover everything year after year. Now let me show you what I've got going on here. This field's got clover, strawberries, potted plants. I'm gonna have something growing along the trellis. I got these red clover. Look at these. And you see the size of these blooms, these blossoms. They're just magnificent. The bees love them. I actually did see a honeybee here earlier. I couldn't get it on camera. It was too quick. But look, my strawberries are blooming. I got dandelions. Got some blueberries coming in. Got a whole bunch of stuff going on in this garden this year. And like I said, my work paid off, and I decided this year to put some money into this one. It's May 24th, something like that. And this field, for all intents and purposes, is done. I'm going to show you what the showcase of these is. And it's something that I'm trying out this year. I might have shown you in a previous episode, but it's just going to be a cluster of plants. And it's going to be sunflowers, beans, tomatoes, basil, beets, and they're all going to grow in this cluster. I'm going to have 10 clusters in this field, and we're going to see how much food I can produce. And up here is where I'll grow other stuff. Watermelon, peas, and sunflowers up here. It's getting a little late for the cornfield, and look at the condition that it's in right now. I don't know, I'll have to update everybody next week to see what I decide to do. For now, I'm busy as ever. Busy as you can see. And hey, I hope I'm eating a lot of food this year. Checking out. Well, episode 3, season 20, or season 20, episode 3, year 0. I think that's how I'm doing it, because it's year 2020. I've been gardening for about 6 years now. I don't know exactly, but I took interest in it about 6 years ago, and I started this garden right here that you're looking at. So season 20. It's not my 20th year gardening. Episode 3. This is the 3rd episode of my gardening series of this year, and Year zero is the theme, because we're gonna get everything we're getting hit with now. Is not just the coronavirus. It's not that. And the public unrest, I think it's gonna come and go in waves. I don't think it's gonna really be too big of a factor just yet. I hope not. I hope we resolve it as I just hope we resolve that. I hope that's not the reason that we go under. But anyways, we're gonna get hit with the grand solar minimum. It's like 35 years. The sun is weakening, right? The sun is not gonna. We're gonna be going through some seasonal changes. That's why people are getting. There were areas of the United States that got hit with a frost in June. So let me take you through my garden here. Now, I cheated. When I say I cheated, I mean I try and stick to methods that would be reproducible in a world without oil, without stores. And you can see why. Well, I had weeds from this year that I just chopped down with a weed whacker, and I like it. You see how the hay, it creates a natural hay. It just lays down. That's nice. I really like this. This is I could have a thresher. It's like an L-shaped thing, and you just a scythe or a thresher. Could have one of those. There's a lot of things I could do. This is my clover patch that I'm saving. I love clover in any situation. But I've got my garden started. I'm doing something different this year. This year I'm doing the patches like the Hopi do, like I learned from Akima. But don't worry, I'm gonna try to refine my method of the rows with the three sisters. I'm gonna plant the rows of the corn in there, and I got some onions in here, so I'm adding onions to this group. Cousin onion. I got this field. I'm doing something, a whole bunch of things this year different, and this field is just gonna be, we'll put this field together as it goes. We'll see in a few weeks what this all turns out to be. There's some things that I've never tried that I'm trying that are new here. Here's my strawberries. I'm cleaning this up. I do make this garden aesthetic for reasons of, the soil is crappy. I just threw, the soil is very stony. So I threw some peat moss over the top of it. I don't care what grows here. These are gonna be peas. I've got a garlic in here, not to harvest the garlic, just to have a garlic in my garden, maybe eat the flowers. I'm not a big fan of eating garlic. I got peas. I'll put some perennial herbs along here. I don't care what the soil is like here. But I put this here because this is always going to be a path for me. I don't want to have to weed it. I want it to be trodden down and beaten. Okay, and I exchanged out the stones here. Go for a higher stone. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to put more stones in this strawberry patch. When these things finally send out runners, okay? When these finally send out runners, they're gonna find a good spot in these stones, and this is the perfect spot for them. They're gonna yield the sweetest strawberries you could ever imagine. Trust me. That's a tip from Seth Holzer. Okay, I take a few things out of his playbook. And here I just put down, I don't know. At first it was 2 to 3 inches of hay. It compacts. Later in this season, I'm gonna put another bag just on this square alone, and I'm never gonna have to touch this thing, this area again. I've got some either spinach or root vegetables growing in there. You can't really see them unless you're, there. It's easy to tell. The potatoes are growing nicely. I've got to add to these. I've got to build some more potato towers. The reason I'm telling you that I'm doing all this, so I can get to that. I'm growing big this year, and you should be too. This is the year where you're gonna want to eat everything that you grow, and maybe even sell some, and that's my plan. And this is week 3 of my garden. It's June 1st, I think, today, or the last day of May. I can't remember, but it's late in the season, but we're getting shortened by the grand solar minimum. This is the whole purpose of my blog, to show people how to grow food enough to sustain an entire family and then some. Different in different, using different methods than what big agricultural farming is used to. And this is way more efficient. So as we, as society is forced to change, we're going to have to change with it. And this is a chance to adapt in a positive manner. Having small private gardens. Look at the peas that I got growing right in there. They'll grow off this trellis. I use them just to fixate nitrogen in this area. I let all types of flowers grow. This is like lettuce or kale, and I just have it here for the flowers. It lived over the winter. I got blueberries coming in right here, you see. All types of plans for this fencing. I'm gonna have stuff winding up and down this. If I get to it, I'll fix that. I'm not gonna take credit for the person, somebody who lives in my residence decided to clear this out. I didn't do it. This is the only help I've ever received on this garden was this, and I'm very thankful for it, because this was the year that I planned on going out here and I've been out here before. I planted stuff out here before. I don't think there's any survivors though. I don't think anything lived, so I'm gonna have to go out there and redo what I do out here and just see how much land I can get. And this is my garden for this year, and my plan is this week to have, I've got all this planted, right? I do these things in red solo cups, and I've got all these red solo cups planted. I'm just waiting for a few more things of these to germinate. So I'll have this all planted next weekend. This weekend, what I'm doing actually right this very minute is digging holes all in here, and I'm gonna have a system of 3 sisters, Hopi style. So let's see what I can do. Let's see if it works out. It's an experiment this year. I didn't really have the time to do the rows. I didn't have the time. I wasn't organized this year. Everything's busy, so doing it this way. I don't have the time because I'm doing way more than I usually do. I don't have any help, but I think this year I'm gonna grow enough food that once the harvest season begins, I won't need to spend a red cent of my money to get food unless it's something non-essential. So, wish me luck. Signing out. This field is ready to plant, ready to put hay down, at least up to here, at least where the soil is for these first 6 plants. And so one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take an assortment of seeds, and I'll show you what they are, and I'll scatter them evenly, or as evenly as possible over here, cover them with hay, soak them with water, and watch them all germinate. I got everything in here. I don't care what germinates. I'll eat what I eat, most of it. I'm going to leave here to seed over the winter, or just to exist over the winter, like my kale. I'm going to show you my kale producing seeds for me. It's convenient, I might say. You know, nature does everything that I need it to, as long as I listen to what it wants to do. You know, look at these things. I take it off. And I planted my watermelon today. I'm planting more pots here. Quinoa, amaranth. After I plant the buckwheat and I finish what I want to do along the ledge there, I'm going to be maximum capacity for this bed, and we're going to see just what I can do in a, oh wow, I think it's a 10 by 20. And look at, I'm just talking about this level, a 10 by 20, and look at these potato towers. I started filling them in. This one looks the best. But also look, because I got the peas growing, and they're gonna start growing up the sides. Let me find them. See, here's one right here. It's gonna start growing up the sides. Right there. It's gonna go up the sides of the cage while the potatoes are growing, and the potatoes are just gonna continue to grow upwards and outwards. That's, at least that's the goal. We'll see. Look at little green guy. Where is it? He's in there. See him? Little grasshopper. That's me, the grasshopper. Though we hop on 2 different types of grass, my friend, but still. High five. Dang. I'm out. Say hi, you're on camera. Oh. Dita, say hi. There's Riley. Riley, you want the ball? Go get the ball. There was nothing in my hand. Sorry, I'm just having a little fun. I finally get a day off. Well, an early day. We ended at 4 o'clock. That's like a half day for us. So I got time to make a little video, a little update. As you can see in the rain, everything's healthy. Ah, no, 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 no. No, no, Dita. You are not allowed in here. Ha! My garden is dog-proof this year. It's not deer-proof though. These tracks are about a week old, so you won't see them, and I think I kind of demolished them, but that was actually from a deer. It hopped somewhere in the corner over there because it moved, it disrupted this stuff in here, and it moved through. Luckily it didn't squash anything. It got in somewhere to here. Now look, these are my potato towers that I was telling you about. My first year doing them, I literally just take the weeds and I put them in there. This is like a trash bin. Hey, it works for me, and hopefully I get some potatoes out of it. Hopefully this, you know, this whole thing fills up by the end of the year. I got runner beans, sunflowers, tomatoes. Over there is sunflowers and peas. I got this garden is just tricked out. It's souped up this year, especially compared to last year's. I'm so excited to see everything greening. I got some beets from last year's giving out flowers. This is actually orange cauliflower, I think. It's either that or it's a type of broccoli. But look, I just got things growing this year. Last year, in the year before, it was not so good. I got sweet potato. All my plants are thriving this year. I couldn't be, I'm not disappointed in anything really. And I got more beets growing in here. Well, the only thing I'm disappointed in is that I didn't do more. That's almost always going to be the case. I still have more. I still have the rest of the season. I know you can see a lot of weeds in here, so you can't tell, but here's my 3 sisters that I plant in rows. And here is my 3 sisters that I'm planting, we're going to call it Hopi style because it's close enough. It's inspired by them. And what I'm talking about is this. There's about 5 or 6 corn in that patch. And if we go up here, you'll find the same thing. So when all this starts growing in, you're gonna see how I have this all lined up, and hopefully everything comes in. This is the Atlantic Giant. That's like a 500 to 2,000 pound pumpkin. We'll see if it does anything this year. I haven't had any luck, but this is my year. This is my year where I prove to myself that I'm capable of producing food for myself and for other people. All the work that I put in is finally going to pay off. And I found stinging nettle. People hate stinging nettle. I love it. I haven't eaten it, but it's got so many uses. I found stinging nettle in the woods, so I captured some, and it looks like it survived. Hopefully I get some seeds. They're difficult to germinate, at least in my experience, so hopefully I get them to survive. These are my buckets. These are doing very well, surprisingly well. They're an experiment. I thought this was a tomato, but it looks like a tomatillo now that I look at it. I've got peas. These peas are just, I can't wait for them to start throwing out flowers. I swore there were sunflowers in this bucket. No, there's no sunflowers in this bucket. These are meant to hang from a tree so that the potatoes and the peas hang downwards. It's an experiment. But I got tomatillos here and spinach, and I think that's spinach. These are regular tomatoes and peas, and there's some purple basil in there and some other stuff. See, you get a better view of the basil right here. I'm so excited to watch this stuff grow. I'm excited. I want people, I wish I had a following of a lot more people, not so that I could get money and people would be like, oh, you're so great, blah, blah, blah. No, I want people to fill in the spaces in my practices here. I want feedback, you know? That's why I do this. I want feedback. I also want people to see just how this is a canvas, and it's up to you to interpret nature the way that you want. And when you do that, when you take on things that other people do and put a twist on it and make it into your own, you might discover something that benefits you and a whole bunch of other people. That's why I do this, because I don't know many other people that are doing it like this. Anyways. Perfect day today. The temperature is just right. The sun is just warm. It's a nice little breeze. My garden is coming along very nicely. I'm waiting for flowers to start showing up on these peas. I wonder if this is the Hopi purple dye sunflower. You can see the sunflowers. You see peas. This year I didn't focus on too much of this. I threw this in last minute and it's different. But I do have a little model where I have the same type of corn running here. This is my system, my Three Sisters system, where I run rows of corn, beans, and squash. And I have 5 different types of beans. These are the same types of beans, and so on and so forth. So I get to see and compare them, how they grow, how successful they do. Because I have a different system here. I threw this in. This was quick and simple, but it's gonna work. Maybe better than this system, but this isn't the focus this year. And this is not the focus. Oh no, I just committed a sin, a gardening sin. You see that? That happened. But before that, it wasn't as bad as the cartoons. And this happens, you know? And I hit myself like a dummy, so rule number 1. Hey, even the best, yeah, anyways. This is my focus right here. I'm gonna show you what I got going on, just how simple this is, right? Because I just began reading Masanobu Fukuoka. Look, even my dog wants to be a vegan. She's like, no, I like chicken and steak. How about bacon? Yeah, maybe one day. So, my system here, we've got sunflowers, hopefully being the tallest layer. I'm pulling my hand up all the way above my head, hopefully being the tallest layer to this system. Growing up between the sunflowers will be beans, runner beans, long beans, or yakama, or are they jacama? It's a yam bean. I forget where it's from. It's something new that I'm growing this year. And the beans will be a vine, and I will wrap them in spirals. I'll spiral them around the sunflowers to keep their structure up. Okay. Then in between there, I got some tomatoes growing. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I've got sunflowers growing up, hopefully being the tallest layer, and I've got beans spiraling around, and I've got tomatoes growing inside. Hey, you know, first time I've tried this, we'll see if it works. Furthermore, I don't know how successful all of these were, but I have other plants that are in. You can see beets growing. I can see beets growing. Yeah, you can see them in the camera. You can see the beets growing right there. So I've got other stuff in this. Other stuff is growing in there. There's beets growing in here. Then I got the watermelon growing here. The watermelon will just vine around everywhere. Here's a tomato, a wild tomato from last year. That just, because I had needed tomatoes everywhere. So that one's, you know, I'm gonna let it grow. It's a fighter, so I'll let it live. Let's see. You know, some of these are supposed to have carrots. flip this. Sorry. Like I said, it was the first time I tried something like this. Anyways, I got beets down there, and what I'm doing right here, I've got the cube, the soil cube maker. I planted some buckwheat. They didn't all make it, but I'm planting buckwheat now. Just in case, well, not only do I want buckwheat to fill in the gaps, but just in case the sunflowers don't grow tall enough, this buckwheat will be a support structure for the beans, hopefully. And I want to harvest my buckwheat to create my own cereal. So I'll show you just how easy this is. All right, I figure out where I want to put it. I put down a lot of hay, so I just move the hay aside. I drop the cube in. And I'm done. That's it. I don't need to dig. These things will find their own roots. I just gotta make sure that I water it a lot. That's it. Just give it what it wants. Needs space and sunlight. Look, there's a lot of hay there. Look. You see? And I just fix it. And I'm done. While I'm down here, I'll do some weeding. Okay. I know I really don't have much, but I'm just gonna show you. Okay, let me pull these. No, I'll leave those. Those are purple nettles on their way out, but pull some of these. I hate these guys. Alright, check this out. We're gonna go over here. Go to my potato towers, right? We're gonna take the leaves, we're gonna throw them down in there just like a trash bin, and eventually, I mean, I have to fill this up because I don't have enough weeds, but eventually we're gonna fill this up, and it's gonna allow the potatoes to grow the entire length of the tower. At least I saw it on TV, so it should work. And that's my system. It's so easy, and this is the perennial aspect to this bed is going to be the strawberries, which just have not produced anything as of yet. But look at my strawberry plants. I'm gonna, oh yeah, look at this. Look at this, they're on the way. Look at this. Oh, hold on. It's on the way. See, I got strawberries coming in from last year. And you can see the leaves in my strawberries, the hay that I've put there, but you can see leaves from the trees that are all around. And that stuff breaks down and it feeds the plants. I got oregano right here. That's a perennial. Nothing's really flowering yet, but I got some peas growing up here. Boom, boom, boom. Blueberries on the way. I can't tell. Where's the... Okay. Blueberries. Or pink berries. I don't know. I bought a whole bunch of stuff. One was like pink lemonade. Then I bought some white blackberries. They're called snowberries. I don't know what survived. We got some raspberries coming in. And I think I have some more. I might buy some more fruit, some rare ones, because time's ticking on this grand solar minimum stuff. Hey, I'm just not able to get to this bed this year. Maybe I'll set it up for a winter crop, because this year the kale that I had hanging around from last year popped up in the springtime, and I could have been eating it if I had enough, but I let it stay there. I wanted these seeds to develop. Look at this. I could sell these seeds for, I might have $10 worth of seeds here, and from one plant, you know, considering that plant, maybe $10-15 worth of seeds. Sell the seeds at the end of the year. I hope to sell my produce. I can't do anything here. Might do some peppers, some of my habanero peppers. I'm about to throw some onions down. So that's the final thing for this bed. This is my focus this year. I'm gonna throw some onions down in a line. Oh, nowhere. Excuse me. I'm gonna throw some onions down in a line. I think I want to put them in line with everything. But remember, this whole thing's gonna be covered. Eventually, the whole thing's gonna be covered with strawberries. Right, the entire field's just strawberries. Where I got so many strawberries that I just step on them, and I don't care. And then when I step on them, those seeds are gonna be pushed into the earth. And then they're gonna grow new seeds out. And I'll always have strawberries. And all I have to do is go through here and weed out the plants I don't want in here. And eventually the strawberries will make it so very few of these plants can survive. This is burdock. You have to dig this out in order to get it. I think this is burdock. I don't know what this is. This almost looks like castor bean, I can't lie. But I don't ever remember planting that. Oh, sorry. Almost looks like castor bean, I think, from what I've seen in pictures, but I think I'm gonna wait to see what it turns into. I don't remember planting castor bean here. And so look, my garden is moving quite along this year. Plus I got these root vegetables and the spinaches and arugulas or whatever I ended up planting. It's hidden amongst there. I think these are something. Radishes. They're radishes, that's what they are. Yeah, how badly do I want radish greens? It's crazy how when I'm in the garden I just develop such a taste. I develop a palate while I'm walking through this garden. I develop a palate for this stuff, and I start thinking about wanting to eat this. But then when I'm, if the garden's out of sight, out of mind, I'm more apt to go for foods that are less healthy. I'm telling you, it's a psychological thing. And the plants, they love that. This is what plants do. They respond to this. You want to let the plants know that you're taking care of them. Trust me. Trust me, they respond to stimuli. Can't see them just yet. They're tiny, tiny looking bee things, but I don't think technically they're bees. It's too small to really catch on the camera. These are some flowers when I was working at some condominiums as a landscaper and we were doing some weeding. I grabbed a Wendy's cup or a Dunkin' Donuts cup and just threw some soil in it and hoped that it made it through the day. I brought them home and planted and look at them. I don't know what they are. They're nice. Real colorful, the bugs like them. Hopefully they attract the bees. Because my garden is starting to take form. I'm excited. I can see the little buckwheat popping up in between the watermelon, the peas. No flowers on the peas yet. I planted the peas late this year. But as soon as the flowers start popping up on the peas, it's the beginning. It all begins. And here we are. The strawberries should be coming in soon. Look at this. Oh, I know what I'm doing when I get home. Anyways, I gotta go. Boss is here. All right, listen, I hope I don't scare it away. It's like, I feel like it's a once in a lifetime. Oh, that looks like I can't tell if it's a honeybee. It's on the clover, you see it? Or if it's a baby carpenter, I can't tell. It really resembles a honeybee, a baby carpenter, because of how yellow it is, in my opinion. I'm not a bee expert. Like I said, I'm so happy. I don't care if this is a honeybee or a carpenter bee. He is loving this pollen. Look at that. My friend, do work on my strawberries, because look, I don't have any strawberries this year. I don't know what happens. I mean, I know what happens is the weeds, it's a drought. Look, I've never in my life seen weeds drooping. Probably too hot that it's growing out the rocks, but look, these weeds are drooping and dying. I've never seen that before. And my strawberries just not putting out flowers. They put out some flowers in the beginning of the year and just no flowers. So I don't know what's going on, but guess this is the, if you look, take a walk through my garden, you can see the plans that I had for my system are going pretty well. Granted, this one bolted. Some of these little greens, they bolted, but this is working. This station is working almost exactly how I wanted it to. I'm not getting ideal growth from everything, but look. Here's a perfect example, okay? These 3 right here are sunflower. Growing up amongst the sunflower, I have a tomato. It's growing in the middle, right? Growing in the middle. Growing around are beans. You see? And these are gonna be a vine plant. So what's gonna happen? And look at these beans already flowering. These are pink runner beans. Unfortunately, these sunflowers are not growing as tall. I wasn't sure what sunflowers I should be using. I threw random, they're all random. So this one has purple veins. Chances are this is the Hopi. It's a purple Hopi. Oh my. Oh my. I just got distracted because I saw some beans. But hold on. This one's working out very well. Eventually, see, this is why they call them runner beans. You see, oh, look how dry it is. And I thought I was watering enough. But these vines are gonna go around, just like a tomato tower. And I'm gonna create eventually, once I get this system down, it'll be a supporting system. The sunflowers are gonna grow up tall, 6 feet, 7 feet tall. The tomato will grow inside the sunflower, and the beans will wrap around to keep it all together, and it'll be one stable unit, I think. I hope. I don't know. It's an experiment. We'll see. And there should be like spinach or beets or peppers or something growing underneath there. Not all of them are gonna. This one seems to be the healthiest, but I can't tell what's in them. Hey, I'm happy. This one is amaranth. I don't know everything that's in here. Amaranth and beets. I just threw them in a pot like that. I don't know everything that's in there. Some spinach maybe. Again, there's just no, okay, I got some flowers coming out of the straw, but whew, I'm not getting any strawberries this year. Maybe it's too early. Quinoa, garbanzo beans, and carrots. This is radish, I think. I'll tell you actually in a second. The great thing about eating greens or something is the flavor is in the greens. If I had to guess, I'd say that's a radish, but it could be beets. With garbanzo beans and quinoa. My potato towers, they're not doing exactly what I wanted them to do. But in the pictures, the shoots would grow out from the sides. Maybe I just need to give it some more time. Yikes, look at the asparagus drying out. I really need to water more often, I guess. But I got excited before, and my oregano bush just healthy as always. Now look at these. Look at these flowers. Let me show you all the flowers. It's a pinkish purple. And look at the deep purple, maroon, color of these peas. There's no pods in there yet. No, there's no peas in the pod yet, but yeah. These are my buckets. The spinach is bolting. The tomatillos are getting ready. Oh, look at this. This is just pure beauty. Look at that. So I came out here to weed, finish planting the last few things. There is something getting into my garden, doing all that kind of stuff. I know it's not my dogs because I secured this place like a bank vault, but here's some sweet potato, the purple sweet potato, and it's liking it so far. And I'm gonna see if stacking it into a tower works. I don't know. My three sisters' rose, here they are grown. I gotta do some weeding here. Not the most, again, like I said, I did this whole section last minute. I didn't get good propagation rates, but we're still here. And this is sunflowers and peas. So we'll see how everything works out. I'm, just going through, doing the best I can. I gotta weed out this area today, plant some stuff in here, and this will be pretty much the last of whatever I do. It's gonna be a lot of sunflowers here. See, all the tall things are sunflowers. Sunflowers, tomatoes, peas, stinging nettle in that pot right there. Some flowers for the bees. But I don't get any bees. I get these little, the little things that look like bees, but technically they're not bees. See it on the yellow flowers. Hold on. I'll get it. Anyways. So I don't think anything's gonna happen over here this year. This will be winter gardening, but like I said, I've never seen, these weeds are usually resilient. I usually can't get rid of them, but look how droopy they are. Look at all of this. I had to water this bee balm, and still they hurt me. So. And here I am after the first substantial rain here in over a month. I had said earlier today it was going to rain. Well, here we are. In case you're wondering, the difference between these two areas is simply that the sprinkler is right here, and I water the garden somewhere around 3 hours. A general rule of thumb is for every day that you want to water the garden, it would be 30 minutes. So I would do, if I started to water on Sunday, I would water, if I ended up watering for 3 hours, I should be able to go till Saturday, because it's 30 minutes times 3, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I should be able to go to Saturday before I have to water again. Now it changes. Sometimes you can't do it. Sometimes, like during the drought, I had to water 2 hours every 4 days, and you can't water for 10 hours every 20 days. So there are mitigated returns, but most people where I'm living, they don't water enough because they just sprinkle the water. And this is why this is dying or dead. In this area, there's literally no die-off of the grass. I do not bag the clippings at all. You can see the dead grass from last year. it's a cycle of decomposition. You want to do that for your grass to stay healthy. We don't use fertilizer or anything. We get mushrooms popping up because the only fertilizer we do use here. But that's how you water a lawn and keep it nice and healthy. You don't want to sprinkle it, you want to deep soak. And that's the whole theory behind me creating terraces and levels. You see? Because instead of the water just rolling off, now it rained very heavy. After not raining for a long time, these terraces have soaked all the water up. And one thing I do plan on doing, because you see it levels off here, and then the water's out there, if I create a bowl, yeah, where it goes like this and the earth begins to slope up on the other side of this fence, then I can catch any water down here. And that's how you manage the water runoff and you take advantage of every last rain that comes through, and take advantage of every drop of water that you spend that comes out of the house. In times of drought, they might limit water. You don't know what the water's like, and you can see my garden is growing this year. And I'll remind people, because these are not my first gardening videos that I've posted, but this is my introduction to my gardening series. I'll remind people that this soil started very, I guess they call it bony, lots of stones. It's very sandy, but I'll remind people that I don't keep a very clean, neat garden. I like weeds. Weeds I turn into compost, I turn into hay, and that's how I feed my garden. So I guess this is the end of the intro. From now on, I'll try and keep up a weekly series of this garden so some of y'all can garden along with me. It's June, the end of June 26th, whatever they call it. I don't know. We just passed the solstice. That's all I know. 5 days past the solstice or something like that. The days are long. And well, look, you know, I said I didn't have any luck with strawberries this year. Not yet. I don't know. There were flowers earlier. The weather's been funky, so it might have scared them. These are going to be some pink lemonade blueberries, I think. But I have some raspberries ready to go. Almost ready to go. Not sure if they're raspberries or blackberries, but hey, I welcome all. So, thank you for watching the first introduction video of my gardening series, and there will be more to come. Those are tomatillos in my jungle bucket, and I'm getting peas, some garden peas, green peas. These happen to be purple. I'm gonna let a few of these pods of the early pods mature because I want to save the earliest ones and keep. The way you create peas that are suited for first season planting is by taking the peas that first pop up and letting them mature and saving them for seeds. So I'll decide 3 of each or something like that. And those will be my early season peas. You see? So I'm only going to... It's almost not worth me picking any peas, but then again, it doesn't hurt. I just want to show that a person can show how I plan on feeding myself, how easy it is if you're patient, how much variety you can find. These are the flowers from runner beans, and they're edible. So I'm gonna put them in my salad. Unfortunately, I'm not getting any strawberries this year. But we are going to add some oregano to this salad, and I'm going to add some radish greens. Okay, these are radish greens, 99% sure. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna strategically grab 1 or 2 radish greens that I scattered, because they're edible. They add a little bit of a spice to whatever you're eating. It tastes just like radish. Oh, it's good. I mean, look what I've done. And I'll be getting more peas than I know what to do with this year. That's for sure. Gonna add some oregano to this, and we're gonna call it a day. Say hi, Dita. Say hi, Dita. Hello. Hey. Say hi. Say hello, my name is Dita. I'm a 4-year-old pit bull. My birthday is July 15th. Yeah, but you're not allowed in my garden. Back up. Get out. Hey. Right, let me go get this oregano. This is when the oregano is my favorite. Like this. It's nice and spicy. And I've got so much of it. So much of this oregano that I can eat. I can live on oregano. I might try that. You know? You do an oregano cleanse. Just drink water, and I'll press this oregano into a juice and just do an oregano juice cleanse. It might be too acidic though. We'll see. I gotta do some research. Anyways, let's bring it in the kitchen. Finally got one. Want to get it on camera. He's buzzing around. I think he got everything that he wanted. My quest to capture a honeybee on camera still remains, yet to be completed. I've brought everything that they like. Oh. There was something buzzing around here. It was a honeybee. I don't know where it went. As I said, I give them everything that they want. Clover, thistle. They were tagging this tomatillo and the peas earlier. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Let me get in there. Yo. I lost it. Where is it? I hope I captured it on camera. I think I did. Here we go. See it? Yeah, we got a honeybee eating the tomatillos. Welcome, little buddy. Go tell all your friends. All of them. It's free. All you can eat. It's free. It's organic. I don't spray it with anything. The only thing I give it is love. Tell your friends, little guy. Go on and tell him. I got that high grade. I got that high grade. Woo! He's a healthy one. Well, I guess this is episode 1, and the topic will be potato towers. First, let's enter my garden. Down here to the right, it's rather undeveloped. You can see the Queen Anne's lace. Those are the flowers up here. There's some kale growing from last year. I got some peas growing in this tower and some strawberries growing around the tree. I've let this area and this area go unkempt this year, but it's good organic matter. All this stuff I can grab up, which I'm gonna do in the next few days to build my potato towers. But before we get to the potato towers, right, this is my beans, sunflower, tomato structures that I got going, and you can see they are growing very, very nicely. Here's the runner beans. They're producing flowers, and you can see they're starting to form some beans. But this structure is I'd say about 3 feet tall, maybe a little more at the moment, and it's growing perfectly. So stay tuned, because that should amaze. Now I added about 50 gallons of soil, definitely less than, because not all the buckets were full. But what I picked up was a whole bunch of wood chips, and then underneath the wood chips, the dirt underneath the wood chips. And I took it from a friend's house, and we've been composting it for nearly 10 years, turning it over. It's just a place where we dump wood chips on the side of his property. It's been there forever. So that's where I decided to go get some soil, because I'm finally ready to, and the potatoes are inside. I gotta go get them. But these are potato towers. Now, this is my first time trying them. I didn't do them 100% correctly, so it's still an experiment. Now, as you can see with the 3 levels, this is what a potato tower looks like when it starts, or at the beginning, kind of. And I try to have the peas running up the side of it. So you can see some peas growing in here. But what I do is, as I weed out my garden, I toss them in here like a trash bin. You see? Just like that one. You see the weeds? Boom. Well, I'm finally ready to put more potatoes in this potato tower. They should have been done at the beginning of the year, but I guess it's never too late. So I went to the supermarket. I grabbed me some potatoes. I put some wood chips over the hay, just so it's got some better consistency for the potatoes to grow. And I'm gonna place a potato, 4 potatoes, well, 1 potato cut into 4s, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. And then I'm gonna cover it, and I'm gonna keep putting weeds on it till about here, and then I'll put more potatoes, excuse me. And eventually the whole thing is gonna grow outwards. So let me grab a few things. So as you can see, I put the potatoes in there. They're quartered up. And I have no idea if they're gonna take. I have no idea if they're gonna grow. My timing on this is off, but that's 50 cents worth of potatoes, or maybe $1. If it was $2, I still wouldn't care. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover them. I can't do it accurately one-handed, but I'm gonna take these wood chips, and we're gonna build up another layer up here. I might need to place some weeds on the outside. See this outer level right there? I might need to put some weeds bunched up on the outside of this to keep the mulch contained. But guess what? Because I have a do-nothing gardening, a do-nothing approach to my garden. Yes, that's a term coined by Masanobu Fukuoka. Because I have a do-nothing approach, guess what? I got plenty of hay, plenty of weeds, and I don't care how thorough of a job I do. I'll literally just grab everything that's accessible I'll carry this stuff over. I'll take it and I'll line the outside of it like a wreath. You see that? So, be right back. And just like that, it is covered. See, I just added some of this stuff right here. Keeps the wood chips from falling out. And at the end of the season, so if I had executed these 3 perfectly, they'd already be filled up to here, and they'll shrink as time goes on as they decompose. But I have it filled up to here or here, so I can keep putting more weeds in. Because at the end of the year, well, throughout the year, let me start over. Throughout the year, I should be harvesting peas climbing up the sides of this. And you can see I do have a few that are growing up the sides. It's not perfect, it's not 100%. See, these fell off, which is fine because I can always fix them. But these, look at this one go. Sorry, I'm not good with the camera on the fly like that. This one's doing exactly what I want it to. And so it'll climb up, and what should be happening is new potato plants should be popping out the side. Boom, boom, boom. Then at the end of the year, when the entire garden is dead and gone, I'll knock this stuff over and I'll have a whole bunch of potatoes and a whole bunch of compost. And I'll just have piles of compost that I can allocate around my garden however I see fit. So that's my strategy behind do nothing gardening. It's you don't get things done all at once, but you do more things at once. It's like killing 3 birds with 1 stone, but you can only throw 1 stone a week, something like that. I'll smoke on that and think about it. Anyways, potato towers, I'm out. And this is how they look now. I have a feeling that this is about as high as I'm gonna get all of these. I might, if shoots from the potatoes start popping out the top, then I can grow this up higher. But I think for now, due to my timing and the fact that I'm unfamiliar with this method, I think this is about as far as it's gonna get this year. I'm still gonna do all the weeding from over here and dump it in here. Boom, it's still gonna be a compost kit. We're still gonna see peas growing up. There's still gonna be potatoes growing out. I just don't know how to maximize this potential. But for some of you don't know, I've been gardening in this area for about 5 to 6 years now. I can't exactly remember when it was that I started clearing this corner out and decided that I was going to plant stuff. But I can't remember for sure. It is 5 or 6 years. And so this isn't overnight success. This doesn't happen overnight. You have to develop the garden, you have to understand the space, you have to figure out what wants to grow there. And so when I talk about maximizing the potential of space, this is a very good example. And once everything starts blooming, I'll cover exactly what I got going on in here, because there's way more than meets the eye, trust me. But until then, I plan on doing a weekly update. Each week I'll have a new episode with a new topic. And this is my garden project, and so that y'all can garden along with me. You know, it's so simple. I try and make it as simple as possible. And the simplicity is what makes it beautiful. Waiting for it to focus. I want you to see how colorful this berry is. Anyways, still waiting, but I'm patient. So hey, this is not a sprint. Anyways, this is Irie Trader signing out. Today is July 5th, and this is the introduction to my garden. So, let's enter. Now, this garden is about 6 years in the making. There are many teachers, such as Masanobu Fukuoka, Sepp Holzer, Ron Finley, and many others that inspire a type of gardening that is simple and more to the roots or to the core of nature's existence. So this series of garden videos will be a nice aid to show the mentality behind do-nothing gardening, behind the indigenous American practices, whether it be Hopi style planting of corn and beans and squash, as seen here, or it's more of a Three Sisters approach, like the eastern half of the Native Americans, seen here and here. So I'm going to show you throughout this video and the rest of my videos explaining the very complex yet simple relationship that this entire garden has. And right now you can see the current state of my garden on July 5th, because the following clips are going to show you the progression that I've taken so far this year. And it's mostly a journey for the viewers to see exactly how this method is practiced and how enjoyable, simple, and rewarding it is. So now let's take a look at where this garden started this year. Alright, let's get some stuff out of the garden now. This video was done first, so the bowl's empty, but just bear with me. See, it's very overcast right now, and I can hear thunder off in the distance a half an hour to an hour away. I don't mind going out on the deck while it's raining, but coming out here takes some more time. Plus, when I'm out here, as a general rule, I like to observe some of the stuff that I'm doing now. The first thing I'm going to talk about here is rules of harvesting. Now, everybody goes by different rules, but basic Native American laws is the laws of 3s, 5s, 7s. If you find, for example, if you find radishes, a whole field of radishes, you want to pick 1 of every 3, or you want to pick 2 of every 5, or 3 of every 7. I don't have 2 hands, but So as a general rule, these were the first peas that I planted this year. I'm unfamiliar with the species, so they're giving me, if you look at this one, the pods are very, very wide, but hey, they're nice. So for my salad, I'm gonna cut a few of these early ones because I want to save a certain number of these being the earliest peas that popped out. And if I continually, after generation after generation after generation, you eventually develop a pea that is apt for popping up as early as possible. So I'm going to save these big ones and let them turn to seed. Meanwhile, grabbing just a few peas. They're not even have peas inside of them. They're mainly just the shells. Some of them have some miniature peas forming. As you can see, I've got green peas. So I'll take, I don't know, 3 of them. I don't have that many. I have spinach plants, tomatoes. Nothing's really forming yet. The tomatillos. Earlier I had a whole bunch of flowers on these runner beans. They were pink. It was really nice, and they're all gone. And it looks like something was eating them, and it was probably the birds that were eating. And this is probably from birds eating bugs off of the. Now it's okay. It kind of sucks to have, especially because the birds are eating my strawberries and my raspberries. And it's kind of discouraging to have a garden and have stuff popping out, and when you go out to eat it, there's nothing that's left. Well, one of the things that Mao did, and I'll carry this over to the next one, as I harvest some radish and some beet greens and some carrot leaves. I'm gonna put all in my salad. Now, I'll only grab 1 or 2. I don't know why I grabbed the bucket. I'll only grab 1 or 2 flowers, just to show you that you can put flowers on top of a salad, that they're edible, they have nutrition, and what happens is they tend to carry with them the flavor. It's a very intense representation of the flavor of whatever you're going to be eating. So I'll be over here grabbing the flower from a pea. I'll grab another one off another plant. Or, whatever. But one year, I forget what it was, Mao Zedong, he had all of his citizens go out and kill out the birds they were pooping on, or there was avian flu, something or other. I can't exactly remember off the top of my head. So one year, all the citizens went out and they harvested all the birds. They caught them with nets, caught them with traps, they shot them down. Whatever you could think of, they were doing it. They were trying it. And it didn't turn out too well, because the following year they had a massive bug infestation. Mosquitoes or fleas or whatever, it doesn't really matter. And so the moral of the story there is, I don't know why I'm rambling, I'm off topic. Well, the moral of the story there is, you can't do away with the birds, the insects, because there's good and bad insects. There's good and bad birds. You can't do away with the birds. You can't get rid of the birds. There's people out here who are spraying for ticks, and it's very, very wrong for them to do. I look around and there's no bugs out here. So I'm not saying that we should go out and we should kill those people that spray their backyard with ticks. But something needs to be done about these kind of people that spray bugs all the time. And they need to be stopped at any cost, any case, any cost. They need to be stopped. And if it means using death as a tool to achieve that ceasing of actions, then it must be. It just must be. It's not my choosing. People will be like, "You're calling for the killing," but the underlying actions are not mine. Obviously, you can see in this garden and in my life, in general, I practice life. I don't practice death. And there's people out there who practice nothing but death. Good or evil, that's perspective. There's people out there, they practice nothing but death. And act like they deserve life. So probably gonna cut all this out and just be like, yeah, so look, you can harvest radish greens. Adds a nice flavor. I don't have any good beet greens out here. Boom! Plenty of radish, greens. Beets are a little slower to grow, I guess. Got my lone cauliflower growing. I don't think I'll get anything remarkable out of that. But as always, I'm gonna harvest some oregano. You know me, I love oregano. I put it in my salad. I put it in my salad dressing. And again, the law of conservation. I always have this corner full of oregano here. But as you can see, I'm letting this one go to flower. I let a few of them flower and drop seeds, this one as well. But for the most part, and excuse me because I'm doing this without hands. Oh! Dropping, it can't hold the camera without hands. But anyways, I'm just gonna chop right here. I'm gonna chop right here, and I'm gonna let the new growth, I'm gonna let it thicken up and get the new growth. So let's just take a walk over to the deck. Well, no, let's go inside and let's make the salad after I get this oregano. Hold on. Well, that's mostly stem, so we're gonna need some more. Because I make tea, I make dressing. I literally just chop it up with my hands. Here's an example of how I have to intervene in the Three Sisters. in my version of the Three Sisters system, which is sunflowers, beans, tomatoes, and there should be carrots, but I don't think they made it. But as you can see, this one, look how nicely this runner bean is running up this sunflower. Exactly how I intended. Now it's making its way to the top, which is fine. But what I want to do, because it also has one here with some runner beans that want to make its way up. Anyways, we're gonna combine the two and make it a sturdy. I'm simply gonna unwind this one and wind it into that one. So let me put the phone down. And look, it's leaning funny, but do you see how easy it was to bring the beans up here and across and around, back across, and then all the way up. Meanwhile, this runner right here is gonna make its way up and we can run it across. Now this is a different type of bean on both of these structures, and they're not working out so well. Well, here we go. This is the first runner that's really made its way. It's not producing any flowers. This one is making its way up too. So as you can see, this whole system, and now this is a better example here because I have 3 sunflowers to work with and they're all tall, you see. So when one moves, I want all 3 of them to move, so hold on. This I can show you one-handed. Here's the runner bean. There's the tomato. In one swoop, I'm gonna grab everything and tie it up and around, you see? And here is the finished product. See how it's all wound up? And now, hopefully it stays tight. But when one moves, they all move. Now I don't want to shake it too much because I just put everything there, so I need it to grow, I need it to set. But this is one tower system of the 3, inspired by the Three Sisters, using tomatoes, runner beans, and sunflowers. Ideally, I would want to have carrots growing at the base. This one doesn't have any. I did plant them. It's just a matter of which ones germinated, and I don't see any that germinated. They're supposed to have carrots at the base. Anyways, I think that was up here. I do have an example, so I can show you. There's an example somewhere out there. Okay, here. Carrots at the base of the sunflower. That would be what I want. I can pick the carrot greens. Well, you can plant beets, radishes, carrots, whatever you want. But you can pick the carrot greens, you can pick the radish greens, and at the end of the year you can harvest them. So, hey, that's what it's this new system that I got going on.
What did I tell you? The bees love these oregano flowers. So now I'm gonna get some of the lavender from my customer's house. Whoa, friendly, but I still twitch. I'm not ready to be a beekeeper. But you can see they just love it. This is all the oregano. Now, let's take a look at what we got down here at the lake. Because I cleared some of this out. My plan is to get all this area tamed. But I do have some random flowers. I think they're perennials that I planted down here. Check that out. It's going to bloom into something beautiful.
Have you ever seen a purple sunflower? It's the color of the Hopi. Tornado warning winds. Nothing like what they get out in the Midwest, but that's what it is around here. And look, these are my sunflowers. I never established the trellis on this one. But look how high the beans got. They got all the way up here. Look how beautiful this one is. It's just, there's gonna be a nice surprise when it gets done. But this one I wrapped up so nicely. Look at how I wrapped that up, and it's all staying together as a unit. I need to go and fix this. This is just wrapped around here. But look how perfectly, sorry about the camera skills. But look how perfectly this wraps around. It just holds tight. And now these sunflowers are less likely to break. Look at this. This is just beautiful. Look at them, just leaning, 45-degree angles. Oh, gotta be careful.
anyways, I know I haven't done much as far as my garden goes. Well, at least as far as videos pertain, I haven't been putting anything out. So I just want to give a little teaser, and I want to show these flowers, these moon shadow hyacinth or whatever. Look at these. They were glimmering in the sunlight. I can see them from across the yard. Just beautiful. Now it's a weed jungle in here, but it gets better. This is actually the area I neglected the most, as you can see. But it's not all lost. Doing a different method of growing this year. It is what it is. It was a funny year. We got hit by a tornado. No, a hurricane. No, a storm, something. I don't know. Look at this. Look what I got going on this year. I'm not capable of sustaining any life here, but there's a lot going on that I did not have last year. This phone does not focus, but look, very nice, huh? We got all different types of colors, all different types of sizes. Look at this one. There's so many bees on it. This one's got to be 10 feet tall. I got different colors. I even had something that kind of resembled purple. I'm not sure if it expressed its phenotype properly. But I've got everything growing here. Got beets, carrots, different colored. Look at this thing. You got to see this thing. I can't get up close enough to it or the bees on it. I'm loving it. And they survived the hurricane. I had potatoes here. Keyword had. But hey, like I said, this is a teaser. Teaser for you, teaser for me. Let me do this by hand actually. See if I have any potatoes. I feel roots. Little grubber. Oh, I see purple, I think. Or I'm just blind from staring at the sun. One of the two. And I have nothing this year. That's disappointing. I am the worst potato grower you will ever meet. So, please do not pass any judgment. I don't think I mounded them properly. Anyways, moving on. Look, I just got a lot of stuff going on this year. Check out these things. These are fantastic. They're growing in abundance. I didn't expect it. They're yard-long beans. Look at them. Boom. My garden loves the color red, apparently. They're everywhere. Look, they're growing there. They're growing there. It's beautiful. Garbanzo beans, although there's no... Yeah, here, look, here's one. Just one. Not getting too good ROI this year. I got no strawberries. Tomatillos growing. I got one, though I'm not really familiar with these. Look at them. Boom. But they're growing everywhere. Look at these lanterns. Let's see what else I got. Oh, if you're wondering what quinoa looks like, it looks like this. Look at the shape of the... They call this goosefoot. And I know I have some around here. They're cousins. There's a natural quinoa that grows here, and I found it. This one, see? It's a cousin of it. See the shape of this leaf? And it's going to form the same flower cluster. It just takes a little longer. It's more adapted to this area, but see? Just having fun. Trying to have fun in the garden. Not up to pro production levels yet, but I'll get there. Anyways, like I said, this one's just a teaser. I seem to have planted more yard-long beans than I thought. I mean, look at these things. They're everywhere. I'm supposed to have beans here. I was supposed to have watermelons. Didn't turn out exactly as I planned. Look at these, the scarlet beans. This is what I'm talking about. They blew over in the storm, but look at the color of those leaves. They're nice, and they produce some bean pods. They're pretty big. Don't see any though. Maybe I can rescue this. Anyways, oh, I just heard it crack. Like cracking a bone. Anyways, I'm out of here. This is a nice little intro. Bye. Now, look at this garden. This is amazing. This giant tree. What's this tree right here?
Oh, it's an ash that's coming down this winter.
It's an ash. It was dead, but he said he wanted to use it as a trellis, and that's probably what, 12 feet, 13 feet high. Those beans.
Yeah, from the ground up. Yeah. Give or take.
That's amazing. Look at how green the garden is. Look at the size of these leaves. These are dinosaur leaves. Those are the size of my chest.
No fertilizer either.
No fertilizer. The only fertilizer is grass clippings, mulch, whatever falls every year. Bamboo trellis with some chicken wire with the beans running up the side.
Bamboo I got from you.
Yeah. What are these, dried chilies?
Yeah, to keep the deer away also.
Wow. Tons of tricks. Little Christmas bells too. I love it. Look at these tomatoes.
Yeah, just enough to the...
Look how dark green these leaves are. This is beautiful.
Oh, I got one's turning too, finally.
We got flowers growing everywhere. I don't see any herbs like oregano or mint or anything. Well,
that's over there.
oh, the other,
No,
up there.
yeah, on that by the
Front
wall.
steps.
Yeah,
You got some. What are these?
That's dill.
Dill. I think I have some dill in my garden too.
Once you plant it once, it keeps coming back up every year.
Wow, this is a beautiful garden. I love it. And check this out. I'm off in a secret spot, getting some swamp soil. This is perfect spot to find swamp soil because every year, this area right here, it floods. And it floods over this bridge right here. So the area right around here is some of the best soil that you will find once you cut down some of these weeds because it's constantly getting flooded. Now, this water, sorry, there was a bug on my hand. This water carries minerals from the stones as the water pulls little particles of the stones off, little molecules of the stones off. And those minerals end up deposited right here. Not only that, but there's bugs and fish that are dying and pooping in the water, and that's nutrients and minerals that are available. Furthermore, there's a waterfall up the river. 100 yards, 200 yards. I'll show that to you. So it oxygenates the water. It's a perfect place to grab my soil from. So I'm walking down here. I haven't been here in about 3 weeks, I'd say. I'd have to go back through my videos and what do I find? I don't know if you can make that out on camera yet, but just give me a little bit. We'll proceed. Now, I told you I was here about 3 weeks ago. And I just don't want to be here. That's a dead deer. I wouldn't know if this is fresh or not, but god damn, something, you see that? I think something killed it. Some coyotes? I couldn't tell you. It's picked clean, that's for sure. There's no shortage of animals to do that, but look at the bones. I don't know, something dragged it. It's nasty. Now I'm a little worried because there are houses around here. I don't even want to be breathing in this area. It sucks because I passed through right here. I don't want to be here. I don't know where this carcass came from. This is how anthrax is. This is where anthrax comes from. So I'm gonna have to find a new plan. Back myself up out of here. But as you can see, it's really nice. I'm gonna walk through real quick, but I'm not gonna hang around here. See, this is a game trail. Most obviously, I don't come through here enough. Without a doubt, this is a game trail, and these brakes are fresh. As it comes through here, there might be the occasional human passing by, but this is without a game trail because you got the river right here. I've got deer in my garden, which I'll show you today. And
They come through here. I can't get a wheelbarrow this far back, otherwise I'd be back here. They come through here, and this is where they can roam. There's a gate around here. I might have passed it because it's overgrown, but see, this is the game trail for sure. And it goes down to the water. This is exactly the type of soil I was talking about. As you can see, there's nothing major growing in there. But if you can dig, once you dig through all these roots, this is the richest soil. You know, you gotta be careful not to grab the sand. I've got plenty of sand in my garden, so I wanna go high enough up, maybe about 3-4 feet above the water level, and I wanna get this stuff. Now, there's not a lot of it here. I think there's a small area, but down there, I'll show it to you. You can see it gets really nice. I guess I'll take you on the walk up the game trail to the waterfall. See what's going on back here. Oh, and look at this, look at this. It's even worn out over here. Here too. These are obvious signs. This is almost, I feel like humans are taking this too. Maybe bicyclists. But it's so thick back there, I don't know. Nice little river feeding into the pond behind my house. Try not to catch any of the neighbors' houses, so just out of consideration for them, so excuse my camera skills. I can cross here, I can cross later, or I can just go. This would be nice land for me to turn into a garden, you know. I could build the terraces right down to the garden, and when the water flows, when the water gets really high on these banks, I can, there's the waterfall from afar. This would be a beautiful place to have a garden, especially on those banks right there, because the sun sets that direction and rises that direction. Same thing with these banks right here. It'd just be a perfect, I mean, I could build a nice little shore down here and just start building terraces all the way up here, because it's relatively flat once you get through this river. I wonder, it's probably been here a long time. And these are human paths, but I know for a fact that there's part of that is a game trail. There's just, I don't see too many people in this. Oh, actually, you know what? Because this is new. Somebody grabbed a ladder. Gotta be careful, there's nails. But somebody grabbed, it looks like a ladder or something, or a playground set. They just threw some boards over it. That is new, so I guess I'm looking at hikers, but I know for sure. Man, that dead deer is kind of not ruining my day, but I had some plans to get some swamp soil for my garden. I was going to make a few runs. Another rain. Huh. All right, coming up. I don't know if you can hear it on. Coming up on the waterfall real quick. So you see how long it took me to walk this way, and the path is a little bit off.
And this oxygenates the pond. And everything in there is extra rich. I can walk out on it, but I don't want to soak my shoes. These are my work shoes. It's all ledge right here. See, look, it's just ledge. I wonder how old this waterfall must be. Very old, because there's no way that this can be altered if you give it like this. If I had the money, actually, I really want to clean this up. It would look nice. This is a tough one to do alone, though. You know, chainsawing on a waterfall. People don't have time for stuff like that anymore, though. It's a shame. Now I'm gonna climb down this way. I'm gonna take you down here. We're gonna look up at the waterfall. Let's go. This is easier two-handed, but as you can see, the rocks are very slippery. It's really nice what people with a lot of money can do in regards to building houses. But it's a shame none of it goes to cultivating this. I mean, we can draw power from this water, at least in small enough amounts. You can landscape this, make it decorative, and make everything edible. I know people, the reason why I say decorative, everybody loves decorative landscaping. Trust me, I do it 6 days a week. I work from 7:30 in the morning to 9:30 at night. I'm lucky if I get home before it's dark, but that's just, we just have a busy year in spite of all that's going on. So, all right, so look, here I am working in a customer's garden. We cut the grass and he wants me to put all of his put the grass around all of his plants, you see. I'm gonna try and make this quick because I'm at a customer's house. Now they got all their plants from a store because I can see the tags that they put on them, plus their plants are really well developed. Now, as you can see, they've got these tomatoes spaced out. They've got a lot. They're gonna have a lot of food this year. Can't really show you too much what's going on here, but look at all the space they're using when you compare it to my method. How I can grow in a similar density, maybe say half as dense, yeah, half as dense, but I'm planting 5 to 10 plants per plot. So I have half the amount of plots, right? A plot would be, that's one plot, that's 2 plot, right? So I have half as many plots, but I've got 5 to 10 times the amount of plants per plot. And these plants are companions, so they work together and they make each other stronger. Studies have been done by Cornell SIPS, that's their agricultural program, on the yield that Three Sisters farming will provide, and compared to conventional, it outdoes it almost every time. So, oops. Anyways, sorry if I had some bad camera shooting. I'm doing this while I'm working. And that's all, just about everything I have for my garden this year. Today's November 28th. There's a few, I can dump over some buckets. But as you can see, I just leave stuff for the winter, and the strong will survive. Hopefully these are strong enough. These are walnut trees. These are walnuts, black walnut trees, so that when I have a place to plant them, I will plant them. And it takes about 30 years to yield walnuts. You can harvest the walnuts for yourself or sell them. You can use black walnut hulls and you can sell that. And then when the tree gets old enough, you can chop it down and sell it for very expensive, elegant furniture. You know, people make desks and tables out of walnut. It's a very prized wood. So I failed to harvest this year because sometimes life hits back. You know that Rocky quote. But you know, I learned a lot this year. So the work is actually, for the winter, it's just beginning. And people have been beginning their work for next year now. And I have to, this branch fell during the winter and I didn't get to all that stuff. So I'm gonna cut everything down. That's a compost pile. No, that's sticks, and I throw the compost on top of it. In a year or two, this will be just pure golden soil. And I'm just gonna go through and clean everything up for next year. Most people think that the harvest is the best part of the garden. In my opinion, starting over, learning from my mistakes, my lessons, and coming up with new ideas, new experiments, ways to be creative, ways to think outside the box. That's what gets me most excited. November 28th, this oregano's still here. I don't know how good it is, but it's still here. I have to move my fruit trees, my fruit plants inside before they freeze. Let's see, right? I think these didn't do too well. I doubt there's any potatoes in here. Highly doubt it. These were easy. I just grabbed one of these things from Home Depot. I grabbed some fencing and I wrapped it on itself. See? And I just stapled it together. So even if it comes apart, very, very cheap, easy to fix. But you see this potato tower, if it was full, literally just knock it over. There's a whole bunch of compost in there. Like I said, I doubt there's any potatoes. And look, remember I said I wanted the strawberries to spread? This whole field is now covered in strawberries. Next year, hopefully is a better year. But yeah, see, no potatoes. But this is good, good compost in here. Oh, wait. I spoke too soon. I think they're trying to grow again. Wow. Look. Purple is the color of the Hopi Indians. And they are a vegan. They don't eat animals. And they do their gardening up in 8,000 feet above sea level. I almost don't want to, but they're store-bought potatoes. So, yeah, not much luck. Anyways, I'll probably just put it back. Right where it was. See what happens. Maybe I'll have potatoes. So there's no point in flipping that one over. But I can flip my sweet potatoes were in one of these buckets. And there might be carrots or who knows what's in this. So let me put this phone down. Maybe there wasn't any sweet potatoes in here, but I got some carrots. Okay, here's my sweet potato. So it didn't do as well as I'd hoped. But my dog loves carrots. Do you don't want a carrot? Look at her. I say that word and she does that. She does tomatoes too. These buckets were an experiment. It can be done in urban gardening too. Ronald Finley, definitely famous for urban gardening. And another one you could check out is Curtis Stone, I think is the name. He's in Canada and he grows microgreens and stuff like that, and they do 6 figures on half-acre lots. And this is easy. And look, in the process, I am fertilizing my garden. Oh, here's an onion. Anyways. Well, it's the absolute end of the year, and I'm going through the ruins and the wreckage and everything that's left over, right? I don't think I got any video of it this year. But these were the hyacinth beans, the purple ones. I think the casings are moldy and the beans are moldy. They didn't make it. I'm going through. The beans did well. Best year of beans that I had this year. And I can grab these things. These are, most of them are ready to pick. I mean, you see dried on the stalk. And I crack them open and I get these nice white beans right here. I forget what they were. just a typical pole bean. That's for next year. And I got a whole bunch of them. I'm learning this every year. I get halfway through the year and I go, oh, I did it wrong. And I'm just realizing like the best way to grow beans is just like this. Like, look how easy that is. Look how easy it is to harvest them all the way down. If I'm lucky, because this one was hiding in the brush, I'll be able to crack this open and grab some seeds. This is what my garden looks like at the end of the year. I like the winter coming through, killing everything off, the reset, purification, replanting. See if these are different. No, these did very well. You know, I'm testing different species to see how they grow without me doing anything to them, without looking at them. If you want to know what species of beans you should be planting, just grab 10 different species. Don't tend to them and see what does the best. Then you can grab another species of beans that doesn't cross-pollinate, and you can grow that one alongside it. At the end of the year, I got some radishes, some turnips. I think these are beets. I'll tell you in a second. That's beets for sure. Carrots. But most of this stuff I'm gonna leave here. It'll bolt in the spring and it'll produce seeds and scatter them. That's pretty much all there is to it. You can see I'm leaving carrots in the ground. Carrots, I'm leaving them all for the winter. Let's see what happens when they get back. Because these radish won't taste good. The consistency might not be good. At least that's what I hear. Maybe I should pull one and eat one. I got all different types of lettuce because I broadcasted a whole bunch of stuff, so you can see. This might be coriander. Yeah, I think this was cilantro. And so Masanobu Fukuoka makes clay soil balls. You can look into how he does that, but if this is cilantro, all I do to get ready for next year is this. Well, let me break them off their thing. Yeah, ooh, I dropped some. Ooh, that's terrible. No, that's the best thing in the world, look. Then I'll just take them over here. Say I want some cilantro in my flower patch. There, look. Hey, I did work for next year. It's that easy. Do nothing gardening. Let me find some, Look, these were the seeds from last year. Oh, the birds probably got to all of them. Yeah. Hey, no. No. Coming after me. No! Stop it. Ah. Okay, stop. Sit. Good girl. Very good. Give me a paw. All right.